Hey guys, it's Emma. Welcome. Today I am going to share something new with you. I have been needing a little more structure and clarity for a cleaning system for our home. I generally pretty tidy, organized person, but I've been finding myself either just like mentally bogged down by like keeping lists in my head or forgetting things and just wanting a place for everything. So I was doing some digging and I recalled an episode of the Homemaker Chic podcast. I'll link it down below. It's a very fun podcast to listen to if you just need some encouragement in your homemaking. And they talk about this system called the I'm going to botch it. The Sidetracked Home Executives. So it stands for the S.H.E system, Sidetracked Home Executives. And I just actually ordered the book because I want to read through it all. And that'll probably make its way into this video of things that stood out in that. But what's appealing to me about this system is it's an index card system. So everything you need for your cleaning system is in this little box or a little box. This is an old one that I found at like a thrift store. But you just have it set up with daily tasks, weekly tasks, maybe monthly tasks or seasonal things. It's a great place to just keep track of even birthdays, and you have a kind of set each day with its tasks or kind of a theme, your daily goal, I guess. So I'm going to walk you through getting this box set up. And I think in a future video, I'll probably bring you through a week of me using this new system and what I think of it. So I've heard it takes a little bit of time to get all the cards set up in here, but once you've got it set up, it works really smoothly to really stay on top of those things that we need to in our homes. So let's get started. For setting up your box, what you'll need is some blank dividers, your box, and colored and white index cards. So I got an extra pack of white index cards because those you use the most of. You will use blue, pink, white, and yellow. And then the other colors, I think I'm going to find other ways to use them potentially, but those are really the colors you need to have. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little dividers numbered from 1 to 31, and that is for every day of the month. And then I'm also going to get them divided out by the months of the year. And my dividers came with some little stickers, so I'll use those for the months of the year. They don't have enough numbers for all the other ones, but I will do it for the month of the year. So let's get that part set up. Okay, so I thought I would have enough, but I clearly didn't think about how many I needed. So I only made it to 25. So I'm gonna have to order more of these little dividers, and I'll come back to that. I am going to just still get started with some of the cards because I have the time today, and we'll finish up getting the whole box set up on another time. So that's just real life. Yeah. Okay, you guys, so it has been a few days since I got started setting up my Sidetracked Home Executive cleaning box for a new cleaning system. And I want to just kind of show you what I have and what I'm going to be starting out with. And I'm going to kind of take you with me next week when I start this like fresh, through a week of using this system, and then I'll kind of give you my reactions of how it has worked and maybe things I've had to change as I've been using the system. But I'm really excited about it because it actually just like holds your brain in one place and then you do what's on the cards. I was trying it out a little bit today. So a few things that I've added on the front here, I just printed off a calendar for the year so that when you finish a card, if it's, let's say it's a monthly task or an every other week task, I can just look at the calendar for what calendar date I would put that on, because I don't want to put it on a Sunday or probably even a Saturday depending on the job. So I just have this here for a quick reference. So in the book, they recommend having a free day for yourself every week where you don't do any cleaning, anything at all. It's just a free day where you can do whatever you want because you've been so organized and tidy that you don't need to do anything on that day. There's also a moderate cleaning day where they say 2 to 4 hours spent on housework. A quiet day, so kind of what I'm calling my business administration day, just a day to pay bills, log receipts, send a letter, kind of tie up loose ends like that. A grocery shopping day, a heavy cleaning day, which is 4 to 6 hours of housework, a family day, and then Sunday, a day for rest. So that's 7 days. So when you look at it like that, I'm thinking I probably won't have the luxury to have like a heavy cleaning day like that where I'm cleaning for 4 to 6 hours, as much as I would love that with the age and stage that my children are in. I'll probably sprinkle some of those jobs onto a few other days. I love the idea of having a free day for myself, and having maybe I'll have like 2 or 3 moderate cleaning days. Same with grocery shopping. Grocery shopping is hard in this season to do with 2-year-old twin toddlers. So I feel like that's going to be one that maybe we do either as a family or I send my husband to do on an evening or a different day. We'll have to see. We're still kind of getting into a rhythm. On the inside, now this isn't necessarily from the Sidetracked Home Executives guideline, but for my brain and kind of merging cleaning styles that I've done before is giving each day almost a theme for itself. And so Mondays are going to be like my business administration type days where I do paperwork and pay bills and look at receipts and, update our budget. Tuesdays are going to be days where I do our floors, so kind of even deeper floor cleaning, sweeping, vacuuming, mopping floors, as well as bedrooms upstairs. And I'm kind of thinking, kind of going deeper into the bedrooms, I'll do some of those jobs like every other week. They won't necessarily be weekly chores, but we'll kind of keep seeing what is needed. Wednesdays will be bathroom days. We have 2 bathrooms in the house, so an upstairs one and a downstairs one. I'll do those on Wednesday. Thursday, I'm designating to the kitchen, so things like cleaning the microwave, cleaning the oven, and on those Thursday days, kind of rotating through monthly tasks that need to be done, and I'll file those monthly kitchen tasks throughout the month onto those Thursdays. So that just helps me know that when I get to that day of the week, I'm kind of centralized in my home to one area, and it can become a little more predictable of what types of chores I'm doing on each day. I think that will help me be a little more successful rather than bouncing around the house to different things. Fridays, I have designated for changing sheets and kind of doing a deeper clean in one of our living spaces. So whether that's the dining room, the living room, or our little sunroom, playroom area, every week those things will get vacuumed and generally always picked up on a daily basis. But to go deeper and dust and, wipe down shelves and tables and maybe do some light organizing in those spaces. Will be a weekly thing, taking kind of one of those areas each week is my thought at this point. And then Saturdays, I'm gonna just leave pretty open for projects that we want to get done, family fun, as well as just like making up chores. So let's say I just didn't have time to do something one day and it really does need to get done, then I would put that on to into my Saturday file. And then Sundays are rest days, and I plan to do very little homemaking housework on those days, other than just the essentials to keep a house running for a day, like making food, doing the dishes, that kind of thing. But those are what she recommends: a free day, a moderate cleaning day, a quiet day or like a home administration day, a grocery shopping day, a heavy cleaning day, a family day, and Sunday. I'm gonna kind of tweak my weekly plan to reflect that a little bit better. So I just kind of pasted that in here to kind of keep my brain learning my new routine. And then as you can see, I have all 31 of these dates, and then at the back I have all the months of the year. Another little to do for me is green cards are days of appointments and birthdays and anniversaries and things. So I'm going to go through my calendar and mark those on there. I have just a little cheat sheet of all of the frequency codes. So things that are done daily, every other day, twice a week, weekly, every other week, monthly, every other month, seasonally, twice a year, and yearly. So there are a few things. I kind of started with the basic, but I do want to sit down with my husband and go through like all of the other things that would be more seasonal, that we would do yearly, and get those things filed into their correct months. So I feel like I have a little bit more work to do to just get my box filled out completely, but I just wanted to get started so that I didn't feel like I was getting behind on things in the house. The other thing they recommend having is a weekly menu plan. So I said Mondays will be taco nights, Tuesdays soup or chili nights, Wednesdays salads and sandwiches, Thursdays a chicken dish of some sort, Fridays will be a fish dish of some sort, and Saturdays pizzas. Sundays I left blank. A lot of the time we either are with family or maybe getting together with friends. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. I like that it has some structure, but I'm sure I'll veer away from this. One thing I was also thinking about doing is writing out some of our most like popular common recipes onto a different color index card, and then just filing those out. So I could have like all of the different chicken dishes that I make, and then I could see all of those meals and choose them when I'm meal planning, and then file them for each of the days of that week, just so that I have almost like I have my recipe book in my box as well. I do have a separate calendar that I use on a daily basis, and on this it has spots on the bottom for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so that's kind of where I have been marking those. I leave this out on the counter, and it's just with me. If you're ready to get started with this, I'll just very quickly summarize this. So you will have to start 3 colors of cards. Yellow cards are your daily tasks. Blue cards are your weekly tasks. White cards will be like all your monthly and seasonal tasks. On each card, you will write what the frequency is in the top left-hand corner, the name of the job. If it's a mini job, like if it takes less than 10 minutes, you can write that on the top. At the bottom, you'll write when you last did it, and you can skip the job 2 times. They recommend the first time that you do the job that you actually time yourself to figure out how long it takes you to do. Each job gets 1 card. Emptying garbages, putting on a new hand towel. All of the little bits of the task can be divvied out onto separate cards. If a child can do the card, you can write child on the card. and you can even give a description of what they are to do. Now for myself, I'm not going to put descriptions on my cards at this point. As my kids get older and they can read and they're using this system as well, if I like it by then I will add those details to my cards. What I really like about this system is it's an analog system, and so everything's here, it's on paper, you can see it. You can also change it. It can change with you. You can change with your household if you move, if you get a new piece of furniture or something new in your house that you need to now account for. You can just add another card and put it into your box, and it doesn't change everything. The system still works. And then you use the box and you will front file your cards. So, for example, today is March 12th. So here is March 12th. All the cards for today are in front of it. And what I'm going to get in the habit of doing is just take all my cards for the day and flip them this direction. And then as I do the cards, you can see these ones I already filed behind or in front of 13, which is tomorrow. And I filed all these things that I've already done. One other detail that I realized is that once you finish the day, you should put those dates in the back. So you can see here, I'm gonna start, I have the 12th here, and I put as I finished those dates, put them at the back. So you want the most current day there, and then at the end of the day, you'll move all that to the back, and you'll be ready for the date for tomorrow. And so you're not kind of flipping through that whole beginning of the month. It just moves back, and the system moves forward for you. So when I completed my daily tasks for today, I'll file those ones into the next day, and then the bathroom chores that I did today are weekly tasks. So then I took those cards and then I filed them into next week. And so I just glanced at my calendar, and so today's the 12th, so I put those cards in front of the 19th because that will be next Wednesday. And then they're there ready. So you kind of use the system as you go. Once you finish it, you just file it back where it goes based on the frequency that you have set in your home. And if you miss a day, then you can say you missed it, and then you file it behind the day that you'll need to do it on again. For me, depending on that, I might quickly file it to Saturday and then put it on to the right day from there. Kind of sounds confusing. I really don't think it is that confusing, especially once you have it figured out for yourself and you're the one moving and manipulating the cards. This system is obviously not going to be for everybody, but it's something I'm excited to try, and I will be back to give you an update. So be sure to subscribe and follow along if you're curious of how this system continues to work in our home. But I really just wanted to share that with you. This is kind of a raw video of how I got started setting the system up, just kind of sharing something new that I'm trying in case you are in need of something different for your cleaning routine as well. So I hope this inspires or motivates you in some way. I'll put all of the links to even a few of the videos that I watched, as well as this book, Sidetracked Home Executives, and I found the back of the book to be very helpful. Well, they list all the frequency codes, but they also list a bunch of examples of what types of activities you'd have in each of these areas of your home. And so they have the job, the frequency, whether or not it's a mini job, and the color card that you would put it on. And so I'm gonna go back through this even a little bit more and make sure that I have all of the cards that I need into our box. Another little note in here that I forgot to mention was that if something is a habit, you don't need to put a card for it. For example, once it becomes a habit and you're just always doing it, you can just ditch the card. They have a little story of a homemaker who, by the end of using the system for a long time, ended up only having like 3 or 4 cards because everything else was just in this kind of rhythm of happening. And that is a little bit of the thing that I'm fighting inside of me, but I really want this a little bit more to keep me accountable to tasks I don't want to do that need to be done and that I avoid and that I put off, like cleaning the garbage can. It gets really gross, and then the more gross it gets, the more I don't want to do it, the further I put it off. And it's so, for me, the reason I'm doing a system like that is really to keep me on top of those types of tasks, as well as give me some brain space and some confidence, knowing that, like, hey, I did what I needed to do today. I can be done. I don't need to just keep going, because sometimes my standard is too high and then I get overwhelmed by all the things I have to get done, when I don't necessarily need to get all of those things done on that day. And so by kind of spreading out my cleaning and organizing and homemaking tasks throughout a week, I think it's actually going to give me a little more freedom in my schedule, and a little more flexibility, rather than kind of being worried about when I'm going to get it done. Now I know when I am going to get it done. So that's really, for me, why I'm using the system. For you, maybe it's going to be because, you know, things are just not being done, or you don't even know where to start with your cleaning and you just need all the details written out for you. And that this seems like a great system for someone like that. All right, you guys, well, thank you for watching. I have some work to get to. As you can see, I got a few cards to tackle for today. I will see you next week for another video. Have a great day. Bye.